an emerging star at the center position. As new coach Stan Van Gundy put it, I think we have two responsibilities to Andre Drummond that will help our team. Number one, do everything we possibly can to develop him as a player. And secondly, to put a system and personnel around him that will allow him to thrive. Kevin?
Doris, it sounds like he'll play a pivotal role. Thank you.
Yeah, Van Gundy perhaps envisioning him as Dwight Howard 2.0 in the middle. We'll see if, in fact, Drummond can live up to that.
Here's Tolliver to the wing right side. And savvy little up fake there, fooling the D. And the Pistons lead by 3. Granger dishes to Goodwin. Shot on the wing. Jump shot is good that time. Goodwin's got his first 2 points.
He's fortunate that shot found the bottom of the bucket. It wasn't the highest quality look.
Jennings kicks to Monroe. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Monroe's got 6 points.
Well, the Suns with a huge leap in offensive efficiency last season under Jeff Hornacek. He really wanted them to get rid of the long twos. Instead, he focused on transition and living at the three-point line. That's why Phoenix was so difficult to guard.
And let's take a moment, guys, to get your take on the scoring so far for the Pistons.
And the points they're getting in the lane will really help them open up the floor.
Also, what passing we've seen from them here early. I mean, there could be a big number in the assist column if this keeps up.
This game's going to take a big swing. Clark, if the D continues to clear out like that and give up easy dunks.
Yeah, that's the kind of defense we expect to see in a blowout, Kevin, or even an exhibition game, not a close game like this.
How frustrated Steve is over this.
Well, I just, you know what, Kevin? Come on, Kevin. I just like that he didn't choose to just lay it up there. I mean, he threw it down with force.
Inside, it's Butler that time on the assist from Brandon Jennings. Now it's a 5-point Detroit lead. Bledsoe kicks to Granger. Another shot. Offensive rebound. Len. The dish to Granger. Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession. Marcus Thornton, he's checked in for Phoenix. Detroit leading by 5. Some firepower, Clark and Steve, from this offense.
Yeah, Kevin, how about the air of confidence? I mean, they really look like they believe in what they're doing.
Yeah, a little swagger here from this team. They're in a nice groove.
Phoenix has gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. Knight kicks to Len. High post shot. Some solid defense from Butler.
You know, that's a problem he has. I mean, not being able to knock down that open jumper. I think it happens far too often. That's the 3rd bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle much more effectively.
Yeah, and until they do, the problems inside are only going to get worse. You know, he's so confident, sometimes to a fault, and that showed right there. That's a bad shot.
Exactly. I mean, that's self-inflicted damage right there. There are a lot better options than what he took.
Here's what Detroit's going with right now. Andre Drummond comes in for Anthony Tolliver. And Reggie Jackson subbed in for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. And the Suns also making a change. Morris is checked in.
Nice silky finish on the alley-oop.
That sequence, I don't think Clark could have been executed any better.
Stupendous speed.
Boy, I hope we see a few more of those.
Phoenix calls timeout.
Brandon Jennings so quick, a left-handed speed demon. You know, as quick as he is off the bounce, he's not as good of a finisher inside as you might expect. I think sometimes he makes those shots a little more difficult than they need to be.
Jody Meeks, he's checked in for the Pistons. Phoenix also making some changes. Wright, he's checked in for Len. Green comes in for Goodwin. And Morris subbed in for Brandon Knight.
And for Jennings, it's not just finishing at the rim. His percentages from mid-range and in between have room for growth too. He's tried to develop a floater, but working on those 1 or 2 dribble pull-ups should also be an area of focus for him.
Monroe, the pass to Drummond.
Oh my goodness!
How about that?
High wire flying out.
That'll drop your jaw.
The solo alley-oop. That's not something we see too often.
Timed it perfectly. You're right, and caught the defense totally off guard.
I remember Tracy McGrady doing that. First guy I ever saw pull that off.
Great communication on the alley-oop.
He kind of threaded the needle with that pass into the paint.
Monroe with a screen on Thornton. Outside for Jackson. Wide open. Here's Drummond. A beautiful reverse layup. Drummond's got 7 points.
Boy, you wonder what the score of this game would be if they weren't pulling down all these rebounds.
Love what I'm seeing from them in the paint.
The drive by Green. And now the Pistons fast break. Outside Meeks. And he gets the bucket. And it's an 8-point Detroit lead.
And the defense looked confused out there that time.
Suns have gone 6 of 13 so far from the field here in the second quarter. Oh, he touched it while it was in the cylinder. That's offensive basket interference. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, he's checked in for Reggie Jackson. Eric Bledsoe's checked in for the Suns. Screen by Monroe. And it's Drummond missing.
He still couldn't finish, even though it looked like he had a lane to the rim. But too often, that's the story for him.
And so it looks like the Suns will retain possession here. And the Pistons making a change here. Prince is checked in. And that one is stuffed right through. I like that they're taking it inside and taking advantage of each opportunity. Clark to chip away at the deficit.
Yeah, and doing it with the dunk is a major energizer, too. Gets the momentum going.
Yeah, and I think the interior defense, as good a job offensively as we saw, the defensive presence was almost non-existent. They may see this lead disappear if they continue to give up those easy points.
Taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the two-handed slam.
Well, they already had him staggered, and now all of a sudden they're throwing some haymakers.
And Phoenix making a change here. Knight's checked in. Pass to Bledsoe. 6 to shoot. Good on the baseline, Jay. Bledsoe's got his first points in this one. And Monroe kicks to Caldwell-Pope.
Wow, what a throwdown. Yeah. Look at that athletic play. Incredible.
And this sort of awesome dunk is one of the reasons this team is in charge of this game right now.
And that concludes the first half. Pistons lead by 8. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back in just a moment. And the third quarter about ready to get underway. One of the stories here, Brandon Knight getting it done today.
Well, in terms of his points in the first half, I mean, that's pretty much what we've come to expect out of him.
Yeah, that's an open book on all you need to know about what talent he has. I'll bet he adds a lot more to that tally in the second half.
Phoenix calls timeout. The Detroit Pistons, a proud franchise, of course, from 03 to 08, 6 consecutive trips to the Eastern Conference Finals. And Clark in 2004, the NBA title.
But the rebuild process has had its hiccups, Kevin, its speed bumps, if you will, some questionable free agent signings. There's talent there, but this team hasn't quite figured out how to come together.
the Pistons. Reggie Jackson comes in for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. And it's Jennings in for Jody Meeks.
Then you look at the Pistons, some great size and athleticism inside, but they've lacked the high percentage outside shooting to space the floor offensively.
Our second half of basketball, and presented by Gatorade. Let's see who's all fueled up and on the floor to start the third. On Phoenix, looking who they've got on the floor. Green outside at 3 with Morris at the 4. Bledsoe is out there with Brandon Knight. And it's Wright in the pivot spot, manning the middle. And Drummond kicks to Prince. Fires the 3. Suns trail by 6. Here's Knight. Again, Phoenix.
And, you know, for the Pistons last season, you look at the size and shot blocking ability, and you thought that team would be tougher defensively. But that wasn't really the case. I think it has to be attributed to mindset. Those young, big, athletic guys have to become much tougher mentally at the defensive end to be really successful.
Free throw good, Drummond. A lot of questions about what exactly is the best fit for Drummond on the floor. And Steve, I mean that both in what position he plays and who he pairs up with inside.
I think that's the key, Kevin. It's really who he's paired up with. You know, last year's Pistons team just didn't have enough floor spacing, and so the paint was clogged. But if you get Drummond with some shooting, particularly a stretch 4, to really open up the court for him, man, that's scary.
Pistons leading by 5. Out left to the wing. Out of bounds. Pistons ball as Detroit keeps possession.
A nice play to get a hand on that pass and tip it out of bounds.
I tell you what, guys, if he gets there a fraction earlier, that's a steal.
He's been so reliable again today, Kevin, and they need his points, and he's providing them.
Looking at the stats, he's gone 2 of 5 at the free throw line tonight.
Not the guy you want to see taking too many free throws. Last season, his numbers among the worst in the league.
And you know, with his free throw percentage being where it was last season, it changed the way teams defended him. I mean, there were no easy baskets. He was going to get fouled anytime he got near the rim. They were going to make him earn his points at the line. Boy, such outstanding patience and decision-making for them offensively.
Absolutely. Their ball movement has been outstanding. They are piling up the assists.
And he was camped in the lane there, and he gets the 3-second call. Goodwin's checked in for Eric Bledsoe. Knight dishes to Goodwin. Down low. Knight sets the pick for Goodwin. He got right to the cup using that screen.
Coming out strong here in the third quarter. That's 4 for 5 shooting for this team.
Monroe sets a screen for Jennings. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. Archie Goodwin picks one up.
It wasn't too long ago that the Suns were selling first-round picks. Now the complete opposite. This team stacking up draft picks as they look to go young and rebuild this club.
And the Pistons making a change here. Caldwell-Pope's checked in. A little over 2.5 minutes off the clock in this final half of play. He kicks to Prince. Here's the screen. Outside Jennings. He dishes it to Monroe. Goodwin with the steal. To tie. Tries again. And it's Granger laying it in. Granger's got it all tied up now for the Suns.
Well, the defense just looked a little lazy on the glass there.
Yeah, nobody boxing out. That's inexcusable.
And the push for new talent in Phoenix really seen from top to bottom. New GM, first-time head coach, and Jeff Hornacek.
Yeah, they did an outstanding job. They're pushing to create a very positive culture. They're really giving everybody an opportunity to show what they can do. Thus far, the results are very impressive.
Caron Butler is checked in for Tayshaun Prince.
Rising high to throw that one down.
Sky high.